Your phone says 5G, but your signal still drops sometimes. What does 5G actually mean? And what happened to 1G, 2G, 3G, and 4G? Today, we're breaking down every mobile network generation from 1G all the way to 6G, explaining what changed, why it mattered, and how each one shaped the way we use our phones today. 1G. 1G, or first generation mobile networks, launched in the early 1980s and marked the first time people could make phone calls wirelessly using cellular infrastructure. Before this, telephones were physically connected to landlines, meaning communication was tied to a fixed location. 1G changed that by introducing large-scale cellular networks built around geographic cells, each served by its own base station tower. 1G systems use analog radio transmission. In the United States, the primary standard was UMTS, which stands for Advanced Mobile Phone System. Similar analog systems were deployed in Europe and Japan. When you spoke into a 1G phone, your voice was converted into a continuously varying analog signal and transmitted over dedicated radio frequency channels to nearby base stations. These networks relied on FDMA, or Frequency Division Multiple Access, meaning each call was assigned its own frequency for the entire duration of the conversation. While simple, this method was inefficient and limited how many users could connect at once. Because the signals were analog, calls were vulnerable to static interference and signal degradation. Security was minimal, with no digital encryption, meaning conversations could potentially be intercepted using radio scanners. Phones were bulky, power-hungry, and had limited battery life. Despite its flaws, 1G proved that wide area wireless communication was possible and laid the foundation for future generations. 2G. 2G began rolling out in the early 1990s and marked the shift from analog to digital communication. Unlike 1G, 2G converted voice into digital data, using compression and encoding before transmitting it. This dramatically improved clarity and reduced background noise. It also introduced basic encryption, making calls significantly more secure. Two major standards dominated this era. GSM, which stands for Global System for Mobile Communications, became the global standard across Europe and much of Asia. CDMA, short for Code Division Multiple Access, was adopted primarily in the United States and parts of Asia. GSM used time division multiple access, meaning users were assigned specific time slots to transmit data. CDMA allowed multiple users to share the same frequency simultaneously using unique digital codes, improving spectrum efficiency. 2G also introduced SMS, or short message service, enabling text messaging between devices. Early 2G data speeds were under 15 kilobits per second. Later enhancements improved this. GPRS, or General Packet Radio Service, enabled packet switch data with speeds around 50 to 100 kilobits per second. EDGE, which stands for Enhanced Data Rates for GSM Evolution, increased theoretical speeds to roughly 384 kilobits per second. While still slow, 2G established digital mobile communication and made texting a global standard. 3G. 3G began rolling out in the early 2000s and marked the first generation truly built for mobile internet use. Major standards included UMTS, or Universal Mobile Telecommunication System, which evolved from GSM networks, and CDMA 2000, which evolved from earlier CDMA systems. Early 3G networks supported speeds around 384 kilobits per second, making basic web browsing and email practical on mobile devices. Later upgrades significantly increased performance. HSPA, which stands for High Speed Packet Access, pushed speeds into the multi-megabit range. HSPA Plus, an enhanced version, could theoretically exceed 40 megabits per second under ideal conditions. 3G also improved packet switch data architecture, reducing reliance on older circuit switch voice systems. This allowed networks to handle internet traffic more efficiently and enabled services like mobile video streaming, early app stores, and video calling. However, 3G networks frequently experienced congestion in dense urban environments. Latency remained relatively high compared to later generations, and performance varied depending on carrier investment. Even so, 3G transformed phones into internet-connected devices and laid the groundwork for the smartphone revolution. 4G. 4G began rolling out around 2010 and marked the transition to true mobile broadband. Unlike earlier generations, 4G was built as an all-IP, or Internet Protocol, packet switch network. This meant both voice and data were transmitted entirely as data packets, rather than through traditional circuit switch systems. The dominant 4G standard became LTE, which stands for long-term evolution. LTE delivered dramatically higher speeds than 3G, with real-world performance typically ranging from 10 to 100 megabits per second. Upgrades such as LTE Advanced introduced carrier aggregation, improved antenna systems, and higher order modulation, pushing theoretical speeds into the hundreds of megabits per second. Latency improved significantly, often dropping to around 30 to 50 milliseconds. Voice calls transitioned to VoLTE, or Voice over LTE, improving clarity and reducing connection time. 4G networks used OFDMA, which stands for Orthogonal Frequency Division Multiple Access, to divide channels into smaller segments and serve multiple users efficiently. Combined with MIMO, or multiple input, multiple output antenna systems, 4G dramatically increased capacity. This generation powered high-definition video streaming, cloud services, ride-sharing apps, and the modern smartphone ecosystem. Even today, 4G remains a backbone of mobile connectivity worldwide. 5G began commercial rollout around 2019 to 2020 and was designed to deliver higher speeds, lower latency, and greater device density. Unlike previous generations, 5G operates across multiple spectrum layers. Low-band frequencies provide wide coverage and better building penetration. Mid-band frequencies offer a balance of speed and range. High-band frequencies, known as mmWave or mmWave, enable extremely high speeds but over short distances. Real-world 5G speeds vary widely. Many users experience speeds between 100 megabits per second and over 1 gigabit per second, while mmWave connections can exceed several gigabits under ideal conditions. Latency can drop below 20 milliseconds in well-optimized networks. 5G introduced massive MIMO, meaning large antenna arrays that serve many users simultaneously, advanced beamforming to direct signals more precisely, and network slicing, which allows operators to create virtual network segments for specific use cases. Coverage remains uneven in some areas, and devices often fall back to 4G when signal strength drops. Even so, 5G significantly expands network capacity and prepares infrastructure for increasingly connected environments. 6G is currently in the research and development phase and is expected to begin commercial deployment around 2030. Unlike previous generations, 6G does not yet exist as a consumer network. Governments, universities, and major technology companies are researching future wireless capabilities. One major area of exploration is the terahertz spectrum, which refers to extremely high-frequency radio waves capable of carrying vast amounts of data under controlled conditions. Laboratory demonstrations have exceeded 100 gigabits per second, though these are experimental results. Researchers are also investigating artificial intelligence-driven network optimization, improved energy efficiency, ultra-low latency targets, and tighter integration between terrestrial and satellite systems. However, higher frequencies face propagation challenges, including limited range and difficulty penetrating obstacles. At this stage, 6G remains a long-term research initiative rather than an imminent upgrade. From analog voice calls to high-speed mobile broadband, each generation solved a different problem and expanded what mobile communication could do. While 5G continues expanding and 6G is still in development, even 4G remains more than capable for everyday use. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Tech Timelines video.